Hello everyone, my name is Ritesh and our today's topic is Let's Learn to Fly. Now you have got an idea what are we gonna study today. We are studying everything about flying, like how do birds fly or how do aeroplanes fly and why can't humans fly. So we are going to learn all of these things in our today's lecture. So this is gonna be very interesting. So let's start. Fly. Birds fly in the sky, but how do they fly? This is our first primary question. So birds use their wings to generate lift to fly. Yes, while flying, we need a lift, or we have to generate an upward force, which we call lift, to be in air. So here, birds generate this using their wings. These wings, these both of these wings for this bird, they are responsible for generating lift, or birds usually use them to generate lift for them, and they usually glide themselves using these wings to reach their destination. And here you can see another wing, which another bird which having very beautiful wings. Okay, now wings. Once in the air, birds use their wings to generate lift and glide themselves through the destination. Like I just mentioned, birds use wing to generate the lift and glide themselves through the destination. Like you might have seen in your daily life that birds sometimes fly without uh, flapping their wings. So they just keep them steady and they precisely move their wings in such a way so that they can go left or right or in whichever direction they want. So this is some special things about birds which can make them very intelligent and uh, or they can completely use their wings to glide themselves through their destination. And wings also add an extra beauty to the birds. Like, look at the sparrow here in the picture. So, isn't it beautiful? Here we can see the every feather in their wing, but it would be not this much beautiful if they was not having these wings. So, imagine if they were not having wings, there was just a body. So we might not find that uh, it it much attractive or this much attractive. Why humans can't fly? Yes, this is another question. Why humans can't fly? You also might have wondered, like, why why can't we fly? You might have seen birds when you were at a young age. So you might have imagined, or you might now also keep imagining that why can't we fly, man? So it's simply because we don't have wings. But what if we were having wings? Was that a solution? Well, no. We still cannot fly as our weight is very much to fly or much more to fly. We require very long wings to fly, and which is not possible by a human to what we can say control. Like our muscles is not built for that to control the wings, and that's another reason that humans cannot fly. We see birds flying because their weight is comparatively very less and they have hollow bones and powerful muscles to fly. Like I just mentioned, they have we don't have muscles built for that purpose, but birds have very powerful muscles as we compare with humans in proportion. They have very powerful muscles with which they can fly and uh, what we can say control their wings in a particular manner whichever they want. And they also have hollow bones which make their weight light, and thus they can fly. these both, they have advantage of these both things simultaneously, and this is we don't have. That's why simply we cannot fly. Then I have an experiment for you all. So here it will be very interesting experiment, and this will be for decorating your home. So this will be very interesting. So let's see what we require. One paper plate, a simple paper plate, then a chart paper which you may get in any stationery nearest to your home, then marker, crayon and paints which will be usually available at your home, so you can just use that or you can buy one from your nearest stationery. Then a scissors, which is obviously you are having at your home. Then a glue or fevistick, which will be requiring for sticking. Then thread, a thin thread, through which we are going to hang that. So let's see what is the procedure to make it. So here's the procedure. Use the chart paper to draw and cut out a face of bird, or not just face, you can just cut out a whole one side of the bird, like I'll show you here. Here we can see, you can just cut this out and in a half. Okay, so this should be double on both sides of bird's body to make its wings. Oh, uh, huh. Cut the paper plate into two halves and paste it on both sides of bird's body to make it wings. Like here we can see this. So this is the paper plate, and we are cut it in the shape of wings and paste it on both sides so that it will look like a wing. Then paste the wings nicely on both sides and let them dry. Then make a hole at center of the bird's body and tie a thread to it. Like here we can see a thread is there going from start to end. So here just make a hole in between and then pass a thread through it, and just you can hang it somewhere. Then hang the bird in a corner of your house and let the bird fly, paper bird fly. So make these birds and you can just decorate your room by pasting it in corner or on a wall, you wherever you want, which will decorate your home much more. Now here's a think time. Here I have a question for you all. So what is the difference between flying and gliding? You might have heard this word gliding, but you're, I guess you're not well aware about that. So think now and answer if you know what is gliding, and write the answer in comments down so that I can cross verify whether you know or not. So I'll give the answer now. So difference between flying and gliding is flying usually use external force to produce thrust, or we can say lift. So here for example, here is a plane of Air India, and I guess it is Airbus A320. So they it have two engines on both of their wings. These are the wheels and these are the engines. So these engines usually produce thrust, and then using the rudder, sorry, using these rear wings, you can just tilt the direction of wing or wherever you want to go, like upward or downward. So but these two engine usually does the job to produce thrust, and where the planes are designed so that they can generate lift using that also. Now, this is about flying. So, what is gliding now? So, in gliding, we cannot produce thrust once we are in the air and thus cannot produce the lift. Like we use here engines to produce the lift, but once we are with this glider, we cannot produce a thrust or we cannot produce the lift. So, you might have seen in movies sometime that the members usually are a height in a mountain, and they just slide into this and fall from there. So these gliders usually supports them in flying, but we cannot generate the thrust as well. So once we are going down, it will always go down and never generate thrust to go up. And now here's a very important line, that every flying can be gliding, but every gliding cannot be the flying. But why this? Why this so? Because uh, in flying, we can generate the thrust whenever we want, but in gliding, we cannot. But planes can glide, like their design are made so that if we can put engines off, they can uh, glide through air, but only for some time, not for everywhere or not for longer periods, but they can glide, and their aerodynamics are uh, designed for these purposes, that they can glide themselves with minimum drag. But every gliding is not flying, and the reason for that is we cannot generate thrust. Okay, at middle of the flight, if we think no, we want more thrust, so we just can increase it, but in gliding we cannot do that. So that's why gliding is not flying. That's the main reason between gliding and flying. So let us see what we learned today. Bird use their wings to generate the lift to fly. Like I've showed you these. These are the wings which they use to generate thrust, and uh, they use it for gliding as well. And then once in air, bird use their wings to generate lift and glide themselves. Of course, humans cannot fly because our weight is much more, and our muscles are also not made for that. So if we had wings, we cannot fly. We would not be able to fly. This was one of our other points. And then the difference between flying and gliding, it is that in flying we produce lift, and in gliding we don't produce the lift in air. And we also did a great experiment right now, which will instantly decorate your home and make it very nice in look. You can just enhance your room's look with that experiment by making these birds, and you can just tie them in your home wherever you want, and they are very easy to make. So this is what we have learned for today. And if you have any other question other than this, you can just put down in the comments and I'll try to solve those. So thank you everyone.